Cerdanya, often La Cerdanya, is a natural comarca and historical region of the eastern Pyrenees divided between France and Spain. Historically it was one of the counties of Catalonia. Cerdanya has a land area of 1,086 square kilometers, 419 square miles, divided almost evenly between Spain, 50.3%, and France, 49.7%. In 2001 its population was approximately 26,500, of whom 53% lived on Spanish territory. Its population density of 24 residents per square kilometers, 63 per square mile, is one of the lowest in Western Europe. The only urban area in Cerdanya is the cross-border urban area of Puigcerdà-Bourg-Madame, which contained 10,900 inhabitants in 2001. The area enjoys a high annual amount of sunshine, around 3,000 hours per year. For this reason, pioneering large-scale solar power projects have been built in several locations in French Cerdagne, including Font-Romeu-Odeillo-Via, the Themis plant near Targassonne, and Mont-Louis Solar Furnace in Mont-Louis. Antiquity: the first inhabitants of Cerdanya probably spoke a language related to the Old Basque language and to Aquitanian. Many place names testify to this. In the first millennium BC came the Iberians from the south. Although their identity is still a matter of debate, some theories posit that they spoke an Afro-Asiatic language, and that they separated from the Berbers in North Africa and moved into Spain and then further north to the south of modern-day France. In Cerdanya they probably mixed with the native inhabitants, and the resulting people were known as the Grits, from the native word car, meaning rock, related to Old Basque kari, modern Basque hairy, stone. The Grits were probably essentially of Basque and Aquitanian related stock, as the Iberian clans who mixed with the native inhabitants can have comprised only small numbers of people. The Grits retained a language related to Old Basque and Aquitanian, although some Iberian words may have entered the language, and Iberians probably occupied positions at the top of the Grit society. The main epitome of the Grits, commanding the whole country, was called Kir and was built on the hill above the modern-day village of Livia, a Spanish exclave and French territory. Later the Grits came under Roman rule, and the Romans renamed the epitome Julia Libyca, with a significant number of Roman citizens settling there. During the Roman Empire, the area of Cerdanya was a Pegas known as Pegas Liviensis, a name derived from its capital Julia Libyca, part of the province of Hispania Tarraconensis. The Pegas Liviensis was itself divided in two. The eastern part around Julia Libyca was known as Cerdanya Julia, while the western part was known as Cerdanya Augusta. The name Cerdanya comes from Cerdanya, itself coming from the old name of the inhabitants, the Grits. As for Julia Libyca, the name evolved into Julia Livia and then Livia. The Grits seem to have kept their old language until very late, probably as late as the 8th or 9th century. Romanization in the area was extremely slow, even though eventually the native language gave way, and the people in Cerdanya ended up speaking Catalan, a language derived from Latin. At the end of the Roman Empire, Julia Libyca entered a period of decadence, and lost much of its importance. It is around this time that the town of La Seu in Catalonia, but outside of Cerdanya, started to replace Julia Libyca as the main center of population in that area of northern Catalonia, and in the 6th century when the diocese, bishopric, of Urgell was founded, Cerdanya was inside its limits. Devastated by the Vandals and other Germanic tribes, Cerdanya was part of the Visigothic kingdom of Toulouse and later Toledo, until eventually it was conquered by the Muslims. After Muslim expansion was halted by Odo the Great in the Battle of Toulouse, 721, the Berber commander Uthman ibn Nasa established a small realm in Sardinia and allied with Odo, so that the Aquitanian leader could secure his southeastern borders. However, Uthman ibn Nasa came next under Umayyad attack and the Berber lord was defeated, opening the way to Abdulrahman al-Ghafiqi's expedition into Aquitaine. During Abd al-Rahman's military campaign across the Ebro region, 781, the Cordovan commander received the submission of Ibn Belascat, or Galindo Belascotens, in Cerdanya. Under Carolingian pressure, Cerdanya became a Frankish vassal about 785. County of Cerdanya. The county of Cerdanya has its origin in the Spanish marches established by Charlemagne. In the 9th century, Cerdanya was one of the lordships united in the person of the Counts of Barcelona, who were also Counts of Girona, Narbonne and Urgell. Wilfrid the Hairy, Count 870–897, had 3 sons and established the youngest, Miraon, died 927, as Count of Cerdanya, a sovereign state. The sovereign county of Cerdanya bordered the county of Urgell, the county of Barcelona, the county of Besalú, the county of Roslin, and the county of Raizes. The county of Cerdanya was made up of Cerdanya proper with the addition of other areas which it managed to acquire over time through inheritance, such as Capser and Conflent. Thus, the county of Cerdanya was actually quite an important county. The Counts of Cerdanya were great patrons of abbeys, most famously Saint Michel de Cuxa, Catalan, Saint Michel de Cuixa, dating back to the 10th century and located in Conflent, and Saint Martin du Canigou, Catalan, Saint Martí del Canigou, dedicated by Count Giffard of Cerdanya in 1009. However, the line of the counts died out in 1117 and the county was inherited by the Counts of Barcelona, later to become Kings of Aragon. Current division: Cerdanya proper was split between Spain and France by the Treaty of the Pyrenees of 1659, with the north of Cerdanya becoming French, while the south of Cerdanya remained Spanish. The counties of Roslo, Capser and Conflent also became French at that time. Today, the Spanish side of Cerdanya is a Catalan comarca known as Puigcerdà, that is Lower Cerdanya, and whose capital is Puigcerdà. Puigcerdà was already the capital of Cerdanya before the division of 1659, having replaced Hix in 1178 as capital of Cerdanya. Hix, the place where the Counts of Cerdanya resided, is now a village inside the commune of Bourg-Madame on the French side of the border. Hix had itself replaced Livia, which was the ancient capital of Cerdanya in antiquity. At the Treaty of the Pyrenees it was decided that Livia would remain Spanish, allegedly because the treaty stipulated that only villages were to be ceded to France, and Livia was considered a city and not a village, due to its status as the ancient capital of Cerdanya, so Livia is now an exclave of Spain inside French territory. The French side of Cerdanya is part of the Département of Pyrenees Orientales and has no particular status. People in France refer to it as Cerdagne Française, that is, French Cerdanya, or in just Cerdagne, while people on the Spanish side refer to it as Alta Cerdanya, Upper Cerdanya. Its main towns are Bourg-Madame and the ski resort of Font-Romeu. Tourism: like neighboring areas of the Pyrenees, Cerdanya relies on tourism to provide strong support for the economy. Spas, skiing, and hiking are long-established attractions. In addition, the Yellow Train is a major tourist attraction.